And let me record this time. So now you can hear all this. We're going to go look at doing the front elevation for Thoreau's cabin. So this is what we're going to draw. These are the dimensions you're going to put on it. Directions are down below here. So I'm telling you to set up the drawing 2 inches at full scale above the title block. And then you're going to put all the dimensions on as shown. I said the door is 7 feet high. And Shalom here answered how wide the trim is, because they said the trim's the same width as on the window exercise. So you people who are virtual, who remembers how wide this trim would be? Anybody? Anybody here other than Shalom remember?
4.
Yeah, 4 inches. So we're going to draw this. I'm going to show you how you set it up. We're going to draw it, darken it in, do the dimensions today, and then next Monday we are going to do the site elevation. I don't have a lecture for you today because you are going to work on your architect projects. I hope everybody has their book. I expect really nice presentations, very thorough presentations, and the assignment for that is on Blackboard. So let me share my camera so you can see my drawing. So here's the drawing that I did previously with you guys with all of the dimensions on there. And we're going to use this drawing to get all of our widths and transfer them down for our front elevation. If you've taken AutoCAD, have you guys done this in AutoCAD already? Who's in AutoCAD? Have you guys done elevations, transferring elevations? Yes. So what I need to do is I need to line up the drawing. And when you're doing this, you got to make sure you line up a line on the drawing, not your title block and not the paper, in case it had shifted at any point in time, so that everything's straight. And I'm taping this if I'm way above the bottom of the board, because I'm going to use this to transfer lines and draw my front elevation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the new sheet of paper on top so it overlaps with the plan. I can see through it. I think you can see the ghost shadow. So I can see through it to get the dimensions I need. And then I'm going to tape that down on top. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to block out where my title block would go. So I'm going to stay 1 inch from the top. And I went over this a little bit on Monday. Many of you are doing the title block wrong. If you have any questions, the sample is taped to my office door. I'm not going to grade anything going forward if your title block is not correct. So you're 1 inch from the top, you're a 1/2 inch gap, and then you have to use guidelines. Your name is centered at 1/4 inch high. The date is over here, and the assignment number is over here at 1/8 inch high. So that's going to be a requirement for submitting, because by now you should have gotten this down. So I said that at full scale, I want to be 2 inches above the title block. So I'm going to draw a guideline 2 inches above the title block. And it's a little hard for you guys to see this. Zoom in. So I'm 2 inches above the title block. I don't want to draw it too dark because I don't want to darken it in later. And I can see my drawing of my floor plan through this. So I'm going to pull the outside wall down on both sides. Would I take the line, would I take this line, the line inside the inside wall? Would I project that down? And why not? Leona says no, and so why would I not project that down? It's interior, you don't see it. So I'm only taking what I see from the outside, which is its outside lines. And then I'm going to need the roof also. So I'm going to pull this down, the roof line, the roof overhang, and I'm going to pull the top of the roof. Now I'm going to go to this drawing that I had shared earlier, which will be up on Blackboard. Let me go back to it again. So in this drawing, what I'm telling you is that does anybody remember what this is called right here?
The eaves.
Yep. Well, how about this part? Nicholas, I know you know this.
The fascia.
The fascia, yep. So I'm saying to the bottom of the fascia, the eave is 8 feet high, and then the fascia is 6 inches high, and then it's 5 feet to the top of the roof. And then I have the chimney at 2 feet above this. So why would I do the chimney at higher up here? What? Anybody know this is a code thing? Why is it 2 feet above the roof line? Why would you have a chimney higher than the roof? Not air pollution. Well, there are codes for boilers to be above. But it's so that if there's any sparks that come out of here, they go away from the building. So you always have to be 2 feet. That's a general code requirement, 2 feet above the highest roof pitch. So if you look around, you always see the chimney projects above the roof, and that's a code issue. So now I'm going to go back to my drawing and show you what I'm going to do. So I know that I've got to be 8'6", and I have to be at 3/8 inch scale, because when I'm using a floor plan, I can't change my scale for the elevation. So I'm going to be at 3/8 inch scale, and I'm going to come up 8 feet to the bottom of the fascia, and then I'm going to move it up 6 inches. And there's 8'6". And then I'm going to go ahead and count my 5 feet. So 8 plus 5 is 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be the tip of my roof. So here's the top of my roof. And the fascia is going to be the same on both sides. And then this is one of the few times that I'm not going to use the parallel rule. I'm going to take my triangle and I'm going to connect where the top of the fascia is with the top of the roof to get my roof pitch. Then I'm going to measure 6 inches down from here. And that's going to connect the next part of the fascia. So this part is called the barge board. The fascia is actually the part on this side right here. So there's my roof I've got done already, because I was able to transfer a lot of the lines from the drawing I have above. The next thing I'm going to do is the chimney. Now, what we're seeing on the floor plan up here, I'll scroll up, what we're seeing on the floor plan up here is the chimney as you see in the plan. This chimney actually gets smaller, as most of them do, as you go up. It tapers up. So I said it was 2 feet wide, so it's going to be 1 foot each side of the center line of the roof. And then it's going to be 2 feet high from the highest point on the roof. So there, I've got very quickly, and if I were doing this on my own, I could have done that quicker. I was going slow for you guys, but very quickly you can see I've got the outside of my building all done because I didn't have to measure anything. I took my dimensions from the floor plan. Now the only thing I need to do now is the door. So for the door, I'm going to pull the lines down. I said the door was 7 feet high. And now I need to put the trim on. Where's the trim go? Does it go on the outside of the or the inside? Goes on the outside. Yep, Nicholas, you're right, on the outside. So you and Jalone got it right. So it goes on the outside. We don't ever see the trim in the floor plan, so that's why we're not showing it there. And we already determined that it's going to be 4 inches wide. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to use my 45-degree triangle to get the top. My 45 across. And then come down. So now I've got the whole thing laid out. Now I need to darken it in. And we're not putting a doorknob or anything on. I want the door and the trim to be light. I want the ground line to be heavy and not go to the edge of the paper. So you're going to pick an arbitrary spot. And then I want what's closest to us to be heavy and what's farther away to be light. So what would the edges of the walls be? The 3 line weights, heavy, medium, and light.
Heavy.
I would do them heavy. How about the roof or the
Lightweight.
Okay, if I look at my floor plan, the roof is actually closer to me than the walls. Right, because it's got a roof, it's got an overhang of 1 foot over the walls. So Leona, what did you say would be heavy, the roof or the walls?
If I were doing this, I would say the roof would be the closest thing to me, so it should be the heaviest, and then the walls should be maybe medium.
Yeah, I would do them both heavy because we've only got, and you are correct. I would do them both heavy because we've only got, they're so close together. And we use line weights just like we did in the cube to distinguish how far things are away for us. It just gives us a visual clue in addition to the drawings. How about the chimney? Let's see. You say medium? Do people agree the chimney should be medium?
No, I think it's farther. It's probably, well, it's at the back of the house, right?
It's at the back of the house.
It should be light.
Yeah, I think it should be light. It's like the farthest away that we have, so that should be light. So what we're doing is we're doing the door light, the chimney light, the roof and the walls heavy, and then the ground line is heavy. So I'm going to show you how to do the dimensions and then let you guys go ahead and draw. Go grab my sheet. So this will be up on Blackboard shortly, but here's our sheet again. You're going to do these dimensions and just the 2 feet at the top. So what we need to do is we need to be, how far are we off from what we're dimensioning? We're going to dimension the farthest piece, which is the roof, right? So how big of a gap do we make before we start our extension line? Say it louder. 1/8 of an inch. And how long is the extension line? You know what? I'm not going to answer this question. I'm not going to show you how to do the dimension because I will show you my finished product later, but I want you to go back and research because you should know how long that extension line is. And mine is not correct on either one. So if yours ends up looking like mine, it's wrong. You're following the class standards that we set up of how long the extension line should be. So I'm going to go ahead and darken mine in, and I will share it on Blackboard. But what I'd like to do is have all of you guys draw this and then look up the dimension, and then we'll come back in a half an hour and see where you're at. Okay? So I'll leave my audio on. I want everybody to draw this, and then we'll come back in a half hour. Okay?
Yes.